hope, my salvation, and my all. Our gracious Father, we come acknowledging your presence, being thankful and for the many blessings you continuously bestow upon us. God, we're going through a difficult period right now. There seems to be no answer on man's side. But God, you know the answer. We just simply ask you to give us the strength to endure. We are grateful and we are thankful for the first responders, the doctors, the nurses, the firefighters, everybody that has anything to do with assisting with the sick. We pray, dear God, for deliverance. And then, God, as we go through this period, we ask that thou would be with us, guide and protect us, and grant us your peace. And we will give you honor, we will give you glory, we will give you the praise. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. That's the desire of all of us to go higher and higher in the Lord. Good morning, and thank you for joining us today as we make attempts to comply to a stay-at-home order issued in our city. This virus is dramatically affecting our lives in many ways. Our daily routines have been disturbed. Many conveniences that we took for granted are removed. Our diets have changed. We don't visit like we used to. Everybody's wearing masks like the James brothers. People are dying in gross numbers worldwide. And we all hope and pray for a speedy end to this disruption. A terrible virus is at work. Our scientists and our leaders are working diligently for better ways to control and cure the disease. Our doctors, nurses, and healthcare heroes are doing all they can. Our government has passed a $2 trillion stimulus bill to rescue the economy from a steep recession. But I have good news for you this morning. God is also at work. He is still on the throne. He still sits high and looks low. He is not passive, and he is still working all things together for our good. The message entitled this morning is, "The storm is passing over." I don't want you to be misguided by what I'm saying. I'm saying the storm is passing over. That's in the process. It has not passed over. It's in the process of doing that. Although in our opinion, America or the world will never be the same again. There's a way that this crisis can end, I would think, that will leave us far better off than when it began. To see this possibility, we must understand the crisis for what it is. I believe that it is a wake-up call for the world, and particularly for God's people. But we must know and remember that God is sovereign in all of this. If he did not send it, he is big enough to stop it. So if you insist that God did not send his trouble, you must at least acknowledge that he is allowing it. Based on Scripture, I believe that God does send trouble when it's necessary for our ultimate good. He sent trouble to Noah to get him turned in the right direction. What was God's objectives behind sending his storm and the fish Noah's way, or Jonah's way rather? It was to get Jonah aligned with his purposes, and it was the salvation of many people and many souls and individuals. The gospel is recorded by Mark 4, chapter 35 through 41, says this: "And the same day, when the evening was come, he said unto them, Let us pass over unto the other side. And when they had sent away the multitude, they took even him as he was in the ship. And there were also with him other little ships. And there arose a great storm of wind, and the waves beat into the ship, so that it was now full. And when he was in the hinder part of the ship, asleep on a pillow, and they awake him and say unto him, Master, carest thou not that we perish? And he arose and rebuked the wind, and said unto the sea, Peace, be still. And the wind ceased, and there was a great calm. And he said unto them, Why are ye so fearful? How is it that ye have no faith? And they feared exceedingly, and said one to another, What manner of man is this, that even the wind and the sea obey him? The storm is passing over. The story that in the short space of a trip across the lake, Jesus finds his way to the helm of the ship. falls asleep on the pillow, and a violent storm erupts. A new summer, perhaps a squall, who knows? But still a storm. The disciples, sensing that they were in danger, began to look for Jesus and discovered that he is asleep. The narrative has several familiar elements, all of which have been preached eloquently, I'm sure, over time. But my task this morning is to address just two of these elements. First, the disciples' question to Jesus, Master, carest thou not that we perish? And more importantly, Jesus' command to the storm. Now, I'll give it to you straight. My reason for zeroing in on the Lord's command to the storm is that I'm hoping somewhere along the way that what he says will be a blessing to you as you face this virus situation or whatever challenge that is confronting you in your life today. The story then on the surface is about a storm. But as always, it is possible that God intended the storm to serve as a metaphor for a life disaster, a crisis. We learn how the Bible uses the images of the storm to represent the times of great misery and devastation that often confront us. So I submit to you that it only takes a brief look into your own personal life for you to remember something that you went through that was so intense, so critical, so overwhelming that it was like a massive storm brewing in your mind. But I still come today to remind you that the storm is passing over. Storms happen. I said this in a message a few weeks ago, but let me put it a different way, perspective for you now. This is especially for you saints who have been laboring under the misconception that getting saved was supposed to fix all the other problems that life throws at you. When the boat started quaking and the water started soaking the deck, the disciples were confronted with this blazing reality. Well, yeah, Jesus was the skeptic. Jesus could have kept this storm from ever happening. But I believe he allowed it to happen to show them very important reality. That they who are passing with him on the ocean of the world to the other side got to expect storms on the way. We gospel preachers bear a special responsibility for the saints' misconception. Because in many cases we have promised them something that God never promised them. God never said that getting saved would be like some magic pill that would make our problem disappear. He did say that he came that we might have life and that more abundantly, but that statement was never meant to be taken as some sort of guarantee against trouble. What he did promise was to live in confidence that he would help us to survive this storm when they would come. Listen, these things I have spoken unto you, that in me you might have peace. In the world you shall have tribulation, but be of good cheer. I have overcome the world. God knows. Listen to the words of comfort. You are applying or submitting your care, your concern, to one who knows your feelings by experience and who has drunk deep of the bitter cup. For he was a man of sorrows and acquainted with grief. Jesus knows the heart of a man, the bodily pains of a man, the difficulties of a man, for he was a man himself, and had flesh and blood upon the earth. He sat wearied, by the well at Sychar. He wept over the grave of Lazarus at Bethany. He sweat great drops of blood at Gethsemane. He groaned with anguish at Calvary. He is no stranger to your sensation. He is acquainted with everything that belongs to human nature. Are you poor and needy? So was Jesus. He said, the fox have holes, the birds of the air have nests, but the Son of Man has nowhere to lay his head. He dwelt in despised city. Men used to say, can any good come out of Nazareth? He was esteemed a carpenter's son. He preached in a borrowed boat, rode into Jerusalem on a borrowed donkey, and was buried in a borrowed tomb. Are you alone in the world and neglected by those who ought to love you? So was Jesus. He came into his own, and they received him not. He came to be a Messiah to the lost sheep of the house of Israel, and they rejected him. The princes of this world would not acknowledge him. The Jews that followed him were publicans and fishermen, and even these at the last forsook him and were scattered, every man to his own place. Are you misunderstood, misrepresented, slandered, persecuted? So was Jesus. He was called a glutton and a wine bibber, a friend of publicans, a Samaritan, a madman, and even a devil. His character was belied. False charges were laid against him, and unjust sentence was passed upon him. And though innocent, he was condemned as a malefactor, and as such died on the cross. Does Satan tempt you and offer horrid suggestions to your mind? He also tempted you. He made him to distrust God's fatherly providence. He said to Jesus, command these stones to be made bread. Satan proposed to him to tempt God by exposing himself to unnecessary danger. He said again, cast thyself down from the pinnacle of the temple. He suggested to him to obtain the kingdoms of the world for his own by one little act of submission to himself. All these things, he said, will I give you if thou wilt fall down and worship me. Do you ever feel agony, conflict of your mind? Do you feel in darkness as if God has left you? So did Jesus. Who can tell the extent of the suffering of mind he went through in the garden? Who can measure the depth of his soul pain when he cried, Eli, Eli, lama sabachthani, my God, why hast thou forsaken me? So many times we make the mistake of thinking that the turmoil that disrupts our lives is God's way of punishing us because we are scum. But my brothers and my sisters, I've come to tell you this morning, nothing could be further from the truth because the storm is passing over. Nor should we ever allow ourselves to believe that no one knows what it is like, that no one understands what I'm going through. I assure you today that God does know. And more to the point, not only does he know, he cares. And not only does he know and care, he can do something about your situation. Can't tell you how many times I've seriously counseled people who left themselves believe that God just doesn't care about them anymore, or that their problems are too little, too petty for God to waste his time with them. The disciples could not understand how Jesus could sleep at a time like this. Now keep in mind, these were seasoned fishermen. veterans of the sea and of the storm. And yet, in this instant, they found themselves overcome with fear. But Jesus was asleep. I think about this. I met people who were disillusioned with God because of some problem they were living with. And it occurs to me that their grievance is not with God, or it shouldn't be. Their real problem is that they are trying to fix something that is not in their power to fix. I want to stop for a moment to challenge you, because you've been struggling with an addiction to cocaine, to heroin, to sex, to prescription drugs, to food, or nicotine, or any other substance, and you tried all kinds of programs. You brought all sorts of patches. You've been even trying going to the altar week after week after week after week. And no matter what you have tried, you woke up the next morning and that habit was still nibbling at your nerves. But God sent me this morning to tell you He's about to bring peace to your storm. If you will only find your way to the back of the ship, find your way to where Jesus is, doesn't seem like He's sleeping. Doesn't seem like He doesn't care. But He's about to calm those waves that have been crashing in on you. And if you can find your way to Him, you will have found safety. So that even when the wind comes, you will have a shelter of the one who made the wind. So what did happen to the boat? Jesus got up. The disciples, I know some skeptics said, and I thought the Bible said, he who keepeth watch over Israel neither sleeps nor slumbers. But you see, the disciples woke up Mary, baby. They woke up a human Jesus, but Jesus, the Spirit Jesus, never sleeps. He got up, looked down at the sea and looked up at the wind, and said, "Kum, Saya Kum, peace, be still." Even the disciples said, "What manner of man is it that even the wind and the water obey His will?" But the key part is this: no matter what kind of virus you're going through now, Jesus asked the disciples this: "Why are ye so fearful? How is it that you have no faith?" The storm is passing over. The Lord lift up the light of his countenance upon you and give you his peace, henceforth, now, and even forevermore.